Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to say goodbye to 2025, and what better way to end things than with a wrap-up episode of Who Would Win Masters? Today we're delving upside down and back again, bolstered by trauma, and what better way to do that than by reading your comments and reviews and revealing the final tally about one of the closest battles or most contested battles we've seen in a while. I'm Sam Proof on all the socials, and we're going to see how you voted and what you had to say about the Scarlet Witch versus Vecna. Remember, we just launched a YouTube channel. You can find lots of cool videos over on youtube.com/@whowouldwinmasters. Please go subscribe to us over there. Quick shout out to some of our most recent subscribers: Mandine, Gunard, Vive, Cannonball, and Totally Not Tom Cruise. So jump on our subscriptions and maybe you'll hear your name in a future episode. Our guest for this battle pulled zero punches for the BBEG of Stranger Things, Vecna, and kept the hits coming like a pack of Demogorgons. He's back with us today. It's William Schmidt. Welcome back. How are your holidays, William?
My holidays were fantastic. Surrounded by family members, drank way too much, watched a lot of football, so kind of like what Ray did, I think.
Standard fare. All right. Well, let's keep things rolling, because the sooner I introduce your opponent, the sooner we can start digging into this battle, because it was a lot of stuff was said. Things were said. And, of course, representing Marvel's Scarlet Witch, a man who loves a tall glass of eggnog with brandy while the eggnog is still in the carton on the shelves of Trader Joe's. I'm talking about the one and only Ray Stakenas, and I'm probably going to have to stop doing alcohol-related intros soon before people start to get worried. Ray, how you doing?
For the record, you don't need to be worried about me. I can handle it. What I will say is I'm having a delightful holiday, football aside, and nice. I am having a wonderful time of it. I went to Disneyland with the family over the break, and what we've learned even through this Who Would Win Masters experiment, is that doing these types of shows over a holiday is impossible. It is impossible. That's why we're recording on a Saturday at like 2:00 in the afternoon, where here's the deal. If you're a paid member of our Patreon, either or, you just have to go on there and sign up literally for free. You would have had the opportunity to vote on this episode, to comment on this episode on Patreon, and be in our studio audience right now. This is a thing we're still building from the ground floor, as we had in many ways to start over. We want to see you there.
Nice. Yeah.
Also, do we know that one guy isn't Tom Cruise? I don't know. I don't know if I believe it.
I mean, that's totally a thing that Tom Cruise would say, right?
It is.
He would say he was not Tom Cruise. It's highly sus, as the kids would say, I think.
It's just great to have Tom Cruise energy among us.
Yes. I mean, we've got couches to stand on. Things are happening. Should we get straight into reviews for the show here?
Yeah, we got some reviews here to read. Why don't you go ahead and do the first one?
All right, I'll start it off with this one is from Mr. Squirrel 2099, which says, reviews and suggestions. The episode was probably the hardest for me to decide between. It all truly depends on how wait a minute.
This is one that came in. I'll tell you right now.
This is a Darth
one that
Vader
came in
Doom one.
Right at the deadline, and we didn't see it till after we recorded the last wrap up.
All
this
right,
is for
so
the previous episode.
Previous episode.
Yeah.
It all truly depends on how the Force would affect Doom's armor. Anyhow, I would love to see a matchup of Doctor Strange versus Mahara from Majora's Mask. Yeah, without Mask right next to it, I totally spaced. And a matchup of Moon Knight versus Hornet from Silksong. I love the show. Probably my favorite episode. I'm all for Moon Knight episodes. I love me some Moon Knight.
Moon Knight's really good to have on the show. He's got a lot of crazy feats.
Yeah.
And I agree. I think the Doom versus Vader episode, I'm glad it was his favorite. I'm wondering if this one might have overtaken it. Matthew Dawson wants to know if Hornet is like an inch tall. I don't know who Hornet is. I don't know much about Silksong.
Yeah. I don't know that.
I'm aware of a game called Silksong, and I know people like it, but that's about it.
Okay.
You might be right. Sense. Maybe that's weird. I can't speak to it. Second review here, and talk to us about this one. It's from the coolest person ever, who we've heard from before. He says, good, but can be improved, 5 stars. The gist of it is, he says, hi, Ray, I want James back. And it goes on from there. Now, obviously, we've had the split up. of the two different brands. And now we've had the second split up where we are the only Who Would Win show left on this particular feed. And, I'll tell you right now, I invited James to come on this show on the Vader versus Doom episode. He was asked first a while ago. And I will tell you, he did not answer when I even asked him. So I appreciate that people hate change. We've talked about this before. Yep. Change can be difficult. I remember, again, when I first joined the previous Who Would Win show and replaced Jay Sandlin, for those who don't know. And a lot of people, not a lot, some people were very upset, 1-star reviews, who's this new guy, blah, blah, blah. And I was great. So what I would tell you is that, we made an offer to have him come on the show a while ago, and that offer didn't even receive an answer. So I don't know what to tell you. That has to be let go by some folks. It's not going to happen. It's not coming back. I'm sure he's going to launch his own operation somewhere else, and best of luck to him.
Yeah, it's new year, new show, new things, every time to move on. And I guess,
new show, who dis?
Yeah, right. And, we all need to make our, what are those things you do at New Year's? I never do them.
Resolutions.
Resolution. Yeah, we need to be, make our resolutions to just make this podcast as good as we can. And maybe stop drinking so much eggnog without the eggnog in it. What?
I'm drinking the kombucha today as we record because, I'm trying. Look, I've got to make up for some other previously bad decisions. Yeah.
All right. Well, should we
and Matthew Dawson doesn't want to leave the previous point alone. He says, nice. I know they're all bugs. I don't know how she fights Moon Knight. I don't know, man. We just read them. And sometimes try to make sense of them.
Yeah, I did look it up. Hornet is from a Silk Song, and I do believe that makes Hornet very, very small. So there's more to dig into that, I suppose.
As Matthew says, he says, you read them and I'll tell them why they're bad. That's fine. I often make fun of suggestions that we have for battles because they're often poorly thought through.
Wow.
But people get excited and they want to participate. So I want them to participate. I won't make fun of you too much. I'll let Matt in the chat do it. I'll let Matthew Dawson take care of you.
That's Matthew's new role for the show is make fun of the other people. Yeah, all right. Should I give you a special Discord role for that? I don't know. Should we?
He might need one. To be fair. Only he's allowed to be a negative.
The anti-moderator, if you would.
I like that. Oh, I'm sorry. There were two more quote unquote new reviews, but they looked like people just somehow refreshed their old reviews.
Okay.
I couldn't see anything new or different in them. They just look like what we'd already read on air before.
Gotcha.
So if you're going to do that, give us something different to read. Especially if it's super long. Put it at the top.
At least throw it into ChatGPT and have it reword it. And then we'll just look for the M dashes.
Just something. Look for the M dashes and extra emojis everywhere. Yeah, that's fine.
Well, I think it's time to move on to the results from our polls.
We have some results, and I'll tell you right now. Well, first off, let's do the I'll do the Mortalverse one. I have it in front of me. It's very easy. Before we recorded, or before the episode came out, I should say, the Mortalverse Discord, our good friends Matthew Dawson over there, they had their own deal, and they ran a poll. 100% said Scarlet Witch would beat Vecna. 100-0 is what we were dealing with walking in, as far as the outside view, not knowing who's repping who, not knowing the points that were going to be made. That's the little gut check that we do. Obviously, we want that closer to 50-50, but, people sometimes get a hive mind. It's a thing that happens.
Yeah.
That being said, we have never on our Patreon, and this includes when we were on the other Patreon, we've never had this many votes for a poll before. Wow. And William, you want to talk about this? My understanding is that you did some campaigning.
I did send out a social message to some people saying, hey, I was on the show, take a listen to it, come in and vote. I'm not going to lie, I said, I prefer you vote for me. And it looks like they may have done that.
Wow. I didn't realize we were going to have platforms so efficiently run. It's interesting.
No, I love this. A whole lot of new people joined, especially as free members right now, and that's what we're looking for. We
I love
want
that.
folks up in our Discord. We want your comments there. We want your votes. We want you to be involved in the show. If you're listening to this and you haven't gone on and just done the free Discord, it's not a thing where it's free and then we start charging you. Let me go ahead and put that out there. It's literally just the free Discord, which for the time being, because we're trying to launch it, means that you're free on Patreon until you change it, and you're going to get access to everything just being a free member. There's really no reason not to do it if you're a fan of the show and want to interact with it.
Yeah, the only time you put money in there is if you just feel like it. You're like, hey, it's the holidays.
Only if you
Let's
want
give
to.
these guys some little something. So yeah,
we're not greedy. We just we're just doing a thing. But I wonder if some people might think it's like a free trial. No, it's just a free account.
Yeah, so sign up to the Patreon, patreon.com/whowouldwinmasters. You can find the link to the Discord right off of that and drop comments about the episodes there. We're always adding new stuff to the Discord as well. And starting next year, it's going to look a little bit bigger and better. I just have to work a few things out. Matthew Dawson over in the chat said Sam Hain versus Leprechaun was the perfect matchup.
Yeah, they went 50-50 on that one in their Discord. I remember that.
All right. Let's what is this?
Man, so Matthew Dawson will not let it go. He says,
he's still doing
not done with this bit. Just did a Google, and Hornet is estimated to be 1.5 feet tall. I think Mark Spector would just punt her to the moon. Okay, I mean, now I'm done with it.
That is bigger than I actually thought those characters were, but fair enough.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Yeah.
They're the size of like leaves and stuff. I don't know.
All right. Well, we could talk about that forever, probably in its own thing or just on the Discord. Let's get to the poll that matters here. Not that the Mortalverse poll doesn't matter. It doesn't.
It's a good appetizer.
Do we have a drum roll effect for this? For Vecna?
Oh my God, are you going to put me on the spot and ask for a drum roll? Okay, I'm going to try.
Every episode,
I'm going to try to.
Every episode.
Here we go.
Oh my God, it's happening. All right, with a resounding 67% of the polling audience over on patreon.com/whowouldwinmasters.
You're welcome.
Vecna from Stranger Things by William Schmidt. Yes.
Look
Vecna
at that
did
coming
take
through.
The win. That means Scarlet Witch got only 33% of the vote. This went back and forth. I couldn't see the results because I don't vote on the poll. I will abstain from. I don't want to mess with that, so I couldn't see the actual readout. Well, you're the admin. But I saw comments that had things, and it went back and forth quite a bit from what I saw. This was.
Yeah, I got into it with Snurts a little bit.
Yeah,
that's right. There was a back and forth with Snurts. We could talk about that when it comes time. I have some Snurts commentary, and we could read some of the back and forth. Yeah, I figured having you on the show, I didn't just want to print it all out. Yeah. Very interesting stuff was said. But let's talk about the comments.
Yes.
Because I don't want to talk about that poll anymore. Sam, for the first time, the people have voted against you, and it took to the last episode of the season.
That's a pretty good ratio. I feel good about that.
First time for everything.
And you know what? From the end of round one, I was leaning in that direction completely.
Yeah, but unlike the people at home, you listened to the whole episode.
That's fair.
Obviously.
Yeah.
All right. I'll start these comments because Forbidden Mob, we got some good long ones here. You know, we need more comments. This is not, I'm going to tell you right now, people, this is not as many comments as I would like. Now, they are excellent, and some of them are a bit longer, so we're fine. I want a lot more comments. This is why we've opened up the Patreon to free members a bit. This is why we want you on the Discord. We're going to have a section, right, Sam, for putting comments for each battle. So you'll know exactly where to go, where to post it on Discord. Do the thing. And even as a free member, you have the ability to do that, and we will read them. Here's the deal. Forbidden Mob, friend of the show, he says, a legendary episode. It was far more competitive than I thought it would be. William is a scary good debater. Tell me about it. I had to deal with it. Him behind the wheel of the Vecna deity was jaw-dropping. Still, Wanda is one of the most powered beings in fiction. Ray knew what he was doing with her. His third point sealed the deal for me, telling the tale of her mental offense and defense, examples of her versus the likes of Enchantress and Professor X, made it clear Wanda is getting control. Made it clear Wanda is getting controlled. Not getting controlled, I guess what he means. Not to even mention her power levels of wishing away 90% of the mutant community in an instant. I appreciated the argument of restraining her hand, his durability, and the flesh golem, but it's not enough. She doesn't need movement to do god tier attacks. Like Ray said, if Vecna did charm her into his minefield and began to torment her, her trauma would create a power he's never seen before and utterly destroy him. Wanda wins. But, William, you did phenomenal. Please, please, please come back soon, sir. I love the debate. It was awesome having a D&D character back on the show. What a competitive, entertaining battle. Cheers and Happy New Year to all. William, any response to that?
That is a fantastic comment. And I do agree. Look, no more mutants, right? That's one of the most legendary lines in all of comic books. And Wanda was able to, get rid of 90% of mutants, and she deals with the likes of Xavier all the time. Sometimes she loses, sometimes she doesn't. So yeah, again, it is hard to imagine anybody taking on a Nexus being like Wanda Maximoff. I think that there's another comment that you'll get to. It's like, I wish we were further along in the Stranger Things show, so we know more about the opponent, right? We made some assumptions based on what we've seen, but how much more powerful is he going to be, right? So he's got to take on multiple things in the future, according to the setup going into these final few episodes.
Yeah, for the record, anyone listening to this weeks in advance from now, this was recorded before the the second half of season 5 dropped. So yeah, that's where we were at in the series, and things are getting crazy.
I haven't watched any of the new season 5 yet. I need to, and I know I need to because every other ad during football on Christmas Day on Netflix was a Stranger Things ad, whether it was an ad for Stranger Things or not. Yeah, it became a bit much after a while.
They have found their way into every possible product, from insurance to
even in the WWE right now.
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know why there were wrestling commentators on my Lions post game. I don't know what's happening anymore in this world.
All right.
Not that I don't appreciate it. Look, I do. It's just why.
Yeah.
It's a full-on blitz, right?
Yeah.
Get everybody to the show.
Let's see if Eric Heiding can shed some light on this. Shed some light on this.
Spread some light, like it's
spread
a
some
fine
light,
butter.
guys. This is delicious. Eric says, this was a great show. I love both of these characters. However, I do wish we could do this episode in about a month because I think Vecna is going to show new powers in the second half of season 5 and the series finale, which is what we were just saying. Also, I'm not sure I like the it defense in this episode. I would say there's a 95% chance that Vecna is going to lose a bunch of kids with baseball bats, or is going to lose to a bunch of kids, with baseball bats. However, we could be thrown a curveball and something else totally happens. Then the it defense could be totally destroyed in this battle. On a side note, I think you guys need to decide on a best competitor of the year. Yeah, I like that. My vote, the smart guy who represented Raptor Blue.
Wow. How about that, Eric Heiding?
Yeah, should be on at least once a month. We only do 2 battles a month.
Don't worry about
especially since he is undefeated. Just saying.
Someone's itching to get punched in the snoot. Look, Eric Heiding did a great job. And you know what, Sam Proof, are we going to talk about this? We can talk about it right now. The next episode is not going to be a battle.
Go ahead.
It's going to be a year in review episode. I know everyone loves them, but with all the holidays, it's very hard to get people together, as I have mentioned before. So what we're going to do is we're going to go on our Discord and we're going to create a bunch of polls. We're going to create a bunch of ideas, maybe do this on Patreon as well. We're going to maybe just do it on Patreon. Maybe we just do it on Patreon for free members and paid members alike, and let you vote in a series of polls for, battle of the year, opponent of the year, decision of the year, whatever the heck else you've got.
Mhm.
Matthew
I like
Dawson says he would probably vote for the guy who covered Sonic the Hedgehog. It's just going to
Yep,
be a
I
bunch
mean,
of people voting for themselves
you're not allowed to
and
vote for
one
yourselves,
person
guys.
breaking the tie.
Yeah.
I mean, do it, I guess.
Um,
I mean, you know.
I will say that already on the Discord, we have 2 threads in the general channel that
There
are,
you go.
just tell us your top 5 most memorable episodes and top 5 favorite debaters. So start there because we're going to read those comments on the show. But yeah, we'll make some polls as well. I don't know. Does Patreon have a limit to how many options you can put in a poll? Because I think our Discord limits it to 8.
I'm about to find out.
All right.
This is great. Well, here's the deal. So look for that. We're going to be putting it up very soon after, maybe even before this episode even comes out, quite honestly.
That's probably a good idea.
You're going to have every opportunity to vote for this, and we're going to compile it all for a best in year review episode. Wow. Very exciting. So Matthew Dawson is our next person in commentary. He says, William had Ray trying to squeeze rebuttals and points in between rounds, which earned Vecna my vote this episode. That is not a good reason. That is not a good reason.
That shows fear, Ray. That's fear.
It's not fear. It's not fear. It's resilience, and it is undying desire to win. It's because I knew I was up against it.
Yeah.
And Matthew agrees. He had me stressing. Yeah, I thought I felt real good coming into the episode, but as Mike Tyson once said, allegedly, I know everyone's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth. Then you got to start working.
Yeah, I think during the episode you mentioned something like, I expected you to take this route, but you went that way. And now, you had to think on your feet.
Yeah, what made me mad was you didn't take the angles I thought you would, but the angles that you took worked. And that's not good. That's not good for me. If I could see the punch coming, I could block and deflect it. If it's coming to the back of my head, I do not see it coming and I have to scramble.
I mean, you get a final thought. You
Yeah,
have a master rebuttal. Do you want crib notes from the debaters going forward?
Well, I could be like some other shows and just use ChatGPT. I mean, allegedly. Oh, my goodness. All right, let's go on to the next one.
Yeah, let's get back to the comments. Lord Moxford says, Ray and the Scarlet Witch, take this one. Scarlet Witch has altered an entire planet with just 3 words, while powerful Vecna is stymied by teens on the reg. Hashtag Ray is right. Hashtag Sam's decision song is an absolute banger.
That's
Hashtag Happy Life Day. Nice.
Happy Life Day, everybody. And for those of you who celebrate Life Day,
I love Life Day.
I hope it was a good one.
Yeah. That was your Life Day.
I'm gonna jump on the bandwagon. The Sam's decision song
is a banger. Great. Thank you. I take no responsibility for that, except I picked between the 2 choices that Ray gave me. But thank you.
That's right. And to be fair, I did say I think this is the one.
Yeah.
Here's an alternate, but I think this is the one.
Yeah.
Yep,
no, it was good. I forgot
to ask. Ray, did you get a helicarrier for Christmas?
I know what you're asking me right now, William Schmidt. You're being intentionally hurtful. For the record, for the what would this be now? 40th year in a row or thereabouts? I did not receive the USS Flag GI Joe aircraft carrier for Christmas.
It's sad.
I don't know how many times I can ask for it in publicly.
Have you ever played with it? Have you seen it up close and personal?
I've never even been around one before.
Oh,
I've only seen it in myth and pictures.
Oh, okay.
And I would set it up right here in my Sam, you've been in this area before in my
you
general,
don't have space for that.
I would make space for it. I don't know what I get rid of. Christmas decorations, heave ho. You got a USS Flag in the corner now. Just saying. I can't really show it here. I did just build a curio cabinet for it because I got back into painting models and miniatures again for the last few months, and I've got a shelf for all these new Fallout figures I have from the Fallout miniatures game. I've got some Malifaux, some Don't Look Back, and some Infinity. So if you're into skirmish-based miniature tabletop war games that are not Games Workshop Warhammer, I just said something that you went a little giggly to. So awesome. I'm getting back into it, folks, and it's been a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're probably, this is going to be I'm going to make this promise right now. Halloween time 2026, assuming we're all still here and alive. There's a game called Don't Look Back, which is you're basically in a horror movie, but it's a miniatures game, as opposed to Final Girl, which is you're in a horror movie, but it's a board game, which is also beyond phenomenal.
Okay.
Thank you, AJ Porfirio and team. But Don't Look Back is a game where you actually would set up a terrain, and I've used my holiday monies to buy a bunch of terrain and some campground stuff, and we're going to do a get lost in the campground woods with a masked killer, and I'm going to do a live stream of playing Don't Look Back. We're going to put that on our wherever it is, the Discord, the YouTube, the Patreon, wherever. And we're going to play that live in October next year. That's about how long it's going to take me to get this ready and painted up. So let's do it, everybody. Miniatures.
I look forward to an invitation to the table.
William, if you want to come over and play, you are invited right now. Sam?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll invite you too.
Let's talk about this, because I think I have some ways to make this more interesting. I don't know enough about the game itself, but I think we can do some fun stuff with it.
The game itself, I still need to learn more about it. It's very basic, but the gist of it is going to be really cool to look at. It's going to be a lot of fun to crush a few around a table and roll some dice and giggle as a masked man. Or I just got this miniature for a mutant giant turkey. We might have to make that happen, folks. Maybe that's the follow-up. I don't know. But
you're talking to a guy who owns a lot of Dwarven Forge.
Okay.
Oh, nice. Love that.
We're talking. We'll have deeper conversations offline, but we'll get a little group together and we'll make this happen.
I'm just going to put this out there that for like 4 years, I did an interactive Zombicide stream for Mob Crush which, people would join our Twitch and use channel points or bits donations to drop more zombies on the board. So I have like a chat bot that can do all that. So we're not just going, how many now? So we can make this, 10 times better.
All right. So you heard it here first. We're going to start doing this. I've wanted to play some Final Girl on stream before this anyway. Maybe we do some warm up of that, leading us into a big old miniatures day, because I've started painting. I've got a couple figures and I've got a lot of terrain to work with. It's very exciting stuff for me.
Cool. All right. Circling back to our comments.
Oh, yeah. Next comment comes from William Schmidt. William says, of course I have to vote Vecna, because he incapacitates Wanda for more than 2 minutes while locking her in his mental illusion world while she fights him in that dream world. Taking valuable time to build up her power, she is technically not taking any actions and is thus incapacitated. TKO victory for Venka.
It is spelled out.
Okay.
That's right.
There is also the argument that he would crush her organs before she has enough power to attempt an escape. Let's also take into account that Wanda does not know how to escape the dream world. There's no outside force that put that headset on her, so she can start running up that hill to find her way out. As a fallback plan, if Vecna encountered anything inside the dream world that concerned him, he could just exit it himself, leaving Wanda in it. Open a portal to the upside down, and TK pushed the limp body through it before closing it off and effectively removing her from the battlefield. Again, TKO victory for Vecna. Well, those are ideas.
It does bring to question, does Wanda Maximoff have a favorite song that they could play to guide her back out?
I don't know. I would guess Mr. Sandman, Bring Me a Dream. But that's just me.
Pretty good.
It would probably be something in the public domain. I know that.
Fair. Yeah, I think, this was definitely one of the points that was made during the show, that he would put her into the, the upside down or the inside his mind and trap her. And a big sort of question there is, does time move differently? Like, is 2 minutes there, 2 minutes in the real world? Because it seems like it's faster.
I would argue
so
it's
maybe
way
she has
faster.
more time. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, so during the episodes when Max gets trapped in the mind,
she's there for a while.
In the graveyard, right? She's in there for a while, and then she like levitates up in the air and everything. So I don't think the passage of time is like minutes to seconds, right?
Right.
So,
all right.
Love it.
Yeah. It would be, having that definitive answer would definitely sway this one way or the other for sure.
And we might learn that with the new shows coming out. And again, great comment asking. This would be great if we did it a month from now. We'd know more about the Vecna character.
Yeah. And maybe we'll have the answer to that in a future episode and look back on it. Right now, we're going to move on to Bartholomew Winglewood. Great
That's
name.
a brand new patron.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think I've seen that before, and I am willing to see it again. I think Vecna beats Scarlet Witch. This is how Scarlet Witch puts him in the bubble. Then Vecna, oh, this is how. Scarlet, there's no comma there. Scarlet Witch
No.
puts him in the bubble, and then Vecna puts her in the upside down. So they both TKO each other within their own minds. Is that what we're saying?
Seems like it. Yeah,
Okay. All
that's what
right.
I'm reading.
So
And
that
then
sounds like
finally,
a
we have Lord
fancy draw.
Snurts. Lord Snurts says, excellent final match of the year. Both William and Ray rep their characters well. In the end, Wanda had too many tricks up her sleeve. Vecna needed a natural 20, but he rolled a respectable 18, which led to William Schmidt and Snurts having a back and forth. I just want to put that out there. It came alive.
He's
on,
like,
yeah.
18 modified dirty 20 plus 5 metal dice. Is that the extent of it?
Well, you know, William Schmidt, he says, nat 20, no, more like difficulty 7, with Vecna having a bonus and advantage on that roll. Then he puts some more of the same points we've already talked about. To be fair, and then Sturts came back with, Ray's counter was convincing. Xavier and Doctor Strange attempts were resisted by Wanda. Thank you, Snurts. Whenever someone tries to mess with their mental state or memories, she eventually snaps with epic repercussions. I'm not familiar with Stranger Things. Is the time 1-to-1? Would Hex Magic Warper impact the dream world? That's kind of stuff we just talked about.
Definitely.
And what you just said right there was eventually.
Right.
That's my main argument.
That's fair. Matthew Dawson in chat here. It's too big to even have on the screen, but he thinks William, he says he missed out on an argument that Vecna absorbed the Mind Flayer and controls every creature in the Upside Down. Vecna could theoretically swarm her with creatures. Not saying we'll win him the battle, but it's just something that didn't get mentioned. And
this is actually something Ray and I talked about before the episode.
That's
where
right.
we're like, because Wanda could have done something very nasty as well.
Yes.
Wanda has summoned heroes into fights like Wonder Man, right?
Yes.
So we basically said, look, with the exception that if I pushed her through to the Upside Down, then she'd have to deal with the environment, the Demogorgon, the Mind Flayer. And if the Mind Flayer could actually get particles within her, it's likely that the Mind Flayer would take her over.
I mean, unlikely is what you meant to say, but yeah. No, I hear you.
Again, the hex power is so chaotic. I mean, it is chaos, right? So it may flare up immediately. It may take a while to build. Most times when she goes completely off and like, you know, in the case of No More Mutants, she like literally just saw her sons disintegrate in front of her. Yeah, there's going to be a snapping point. It's just, when does that snapping point happen? Is it within the first 2 minutes of the comic book, or is it like on page 18 where William's already incapacitated her and he has the TKO?
There you go.
Yeah.
So there it is. And yeah, we did talk, summoning is a legitimate power, but in this particular battle, we didn't feel like it would win either way, but it would cause too much, whatever you would call it. It would be too messy if we started saying, yeah, well, he summons a Demigorgon, but she summons Wonder Man and and Vision or whoever, so it's just like, but that's not the battle we want to see, is Demigorgon versus a Wonder Man. We're here to see Scarlet Witch versus Vecna. So we tried to clear the battlefield as much as we could. And we do. Look, we talk about these battles a little bit ahead of time and establish a few ground rules because, we want the show to be as good as possible and not have, one problem I have with a lot of who would win style shows is when nobody talks about anything, everybody's trying to win. And so without ground rules established, you get, well, this is what would happen. No, it's not. Yes, it is. Oh, no, it's not. Well, yes, it is. And then then you turn the channel. Yeah, right. I've had that issue with some of those shows in the past.
Yeah, I mean, that is an established rule that there's no outside interference. We did the same thing with Buffy and basically said, she doesn't have access to any of her friends, which was both a pro and a con. So that is, the status quo.
With the one exception, if your one power is summoning,
sure,
well, like Sung Jin Woo, his whole deal is he can summon. So that now becomes part of the deal, because if you ever watch an episode of Solo Leveling, that's what he does. So it makes more sense in that context.
Right. Like, you're not going to do an Ash Ketchum without Pokemon.
That's the whole deal. You could, I guess. Wouldn't be very interesting.
I throw my ball at him. Yeah.
The other thing we did is we talked about like a couple of parameters, right? Wanda became a very different person when she got the Darkhold, right? So we had to is this pre-Darkhold or post-Darkhold, right? Post-Darkhold, I think I would have had a lot more trouble.
Yeah, we wanted to keep it as fair as possible. We want fair battles. We're not here for smash ups. I don't need the ego boost. I'd rather just have some good battles and have fun with it.
Yeah. Well, we can keep this debate going on the Discord channel. So find that link over on our Patreon, patreon.com/whowouldwinmasters, and we'll be right back after this break. And we're back, which I believe means it is time for a segment that is unofficial called Luke Email. Is that correct? We have an email from Luke?
That is the unofficial. It seems to be a constant segment here. Before we get to Luke's email, because there is a couple new ones, I want to do my own nomination for 2025. I would like to nominate Sam Proof as Judge of the Year.
I'll take that nomination. I would second that. I think
I don't have my gardener come on and be a judge of this show. I don't have, people I work out with come on and be a judge of this show. We have a legitimate judge in Sam Proof who comes in every single week, and he comes in as a great judge, as a spiritual guide to the show. And with the exception of this one episode where the thumb maybe was on the scale, and I love it, Sam has been agreed with by the people 100% of the time up until this battle.
Yes.
So give it up to Super Judge Sam Proof. I'm going to go ahead and declare him the winner. I don't even think we need to have a vote.
Great.
Because I don't know who else would even be on that poll.
I think we should still have that poll up there.
I mean, fair enough. Sam Proof or someone else.
An inanimate rod.
Yeah, you got to be careful with that, Sam. Be careful what you ask for, because when someone else wins, you're in trouble. That's an ego shot right there.
That's fair.
All right. Well, we got a Luke email. And buckle in. It's a little longer. And I think I even cut this one down. So here we go. Dear Ray and Sam, first, I'm so grateful for when you started to make and crack jokes about the characters again. Maybe it's because it was the first one I've heard in a long time, but I cheered more than I laughed. Well, thank you, Luke. We did it for you.
Thank you.
It was still pretty funny.
Good.
Oh, wow. Okay, hold on a sec, because Matthew Dawson says, does the Luke email segment need its own theme song?
Oh, no.
And I think it does. I think it does. Okay, well, here's the deal. Come back in a few weeks and we'll see what I cooked. Okay. Sam deserves a big ol' A rank. Very good for a first try. Sam, thank you very much. I have a good feeling it'll only get better from here on out. Second, I don't know if this episode should be given an A or an S rank. It feels a little strange for an episode like this to drop just before Christmas. Well, it's Stranger Things month, Luke. Come on.
Right.
Because it feels like a late Halloween-themed Shocktober episode. Really, it is. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But then again, several years ago, we got The Nightmare Before Christmas, which is all right in its own way, especially generally speaking. But more importantly, this was a high-quality episode, much like most of the other episodes I've listened to. Oh, no. Which ones did he hate? I don't want to know. Luke, don't tell me. It's fantastic. Thanks, fellas. Third, Ray says I needed to hear for Wanda. Ray said all I needed to hear for Wanda to clean Vecna's clock all week long, with some help from William along the way. Hashtag Ray is right. Hashtag Sam is right. Hashtag Wanda rocks. Hashtag no more Vecna. Ooh, I like that.
All right.
Fourth, this is, of course, up to you guys and the fans, but this episode reminded me of some things about watching Nightmare Before Christmas. Maybe at some point you could do Jack Skellington on Who Would Win Masters. But again, I'll let you and the others decide if that happens. And then fifth, he sent us a cat meme about what the cats look like when Sam says things on the show, I believe. I don't have it in front of me, but it was something to that effect.
Okay.
So there it is. So that is officially the Luke email of the week. Theme song pending.
Right.
I'm going to do it too. That's the really sad and stupid part.
Oh my God.
Luke's email segment will have its own
enough.
theme song next time. It's not a thing I'd considered until now I have to think about it.
All right, and then Matthew Dawson in the chat, I believe this is about Jack Skellington, says as long as he doesn't have to fight a bug.
Yeah, no bugs. That's probably fair.
Pretty sure canonically in the Burton universe, there are some pretty big bugs. So it wouldn't be too far-fetched.
But bugs.
That's right.
That is true.
Right.
Yeah.
He's a whole sack full of bugs. And Jack don't want none of that heat. I'll tell you that right now.
That's fair.
Well, let's move on to what we're watching.
Let's do it.
I'm going to open this one up because there's a TV show that's very special to me. And it's not the one you're thinking of. It's It's a game show, and it's a popular game show. It's been around a few seasons now, and I've caught, I think, every season. I might have skipped one, but I don't think so. Starring Rob Lowe, and it is called The Floor. And our family loves The Floor because anyone can play, kids and adults. I don't feel stupid watching it like I do Jeopardy, which our good friend Eli Seltzer was just on a couple of weeks ago. Did very, very well. Did not win, but in a second effort, he got over like $40,000. So that's what's up right there. And yes, I mentioned this last time, Matthew Dawson. Sopranos Power Hour is over. I did complete the series, and we've posted a lot of videos about me talking about the finale. So shame on you for not knowing. Listen to every episode. Harumph to you. The Floor is the dumbest show on television, and I say that with all love because they get a category of like camping, and then it's two people having to go back and forth playing essentially hot potato. 45 seconds on the clock for each of them, where you have to say the thing on the screen. So it'd be like tent, bear, picnic basket. And it's just the dumbest thing in the world, but it is a lot of fun, and you could play it with whoever is in your house. And some of them get really obscure. And when you win, you take all the pieces of the floor that your opponent had, and then you kick them off the show. So it starts with like 100 or 81 or however many they want to do it. This year it was states by states. So it was like the Senate. You had two people from every state in a 10 by 10 box. And every week they'd eliminate about 9 people. And there's a lot of little things in between it that make it even more, gamey and fun. I think it's a very fun show, and it's a thing that like we could all watch together. Check out The Floor.
All right.
Or don't. It will not change your life in any way.
Interesting. And it's totally not The Floor is Lava, so it's very different.
I was supposed to go on The Floor is Lava.
Really?
I don't know if I talked about this.
No, I don't think I've ever heard
this. This was going to be a team. This is going to be a Who Would Win show a couple of years ago. And we actually were in talks with the Netflix Floor is Lava people about the 3 of us from the show going on and then competing. And they were like, essentially we were able to go on the show, but other people who aren't me, some like issues with some of the rules and some of the regulations, the way we would be portrayed on the show. And they didn't want to be seen in as negative a light or be made fun of, and so we ended up backing out of the process when I think we could have gotten on, which is a little bit disappointing, but ultimately, like, obviously you're not going to try to make somebody do something if they're not totally gung-ho for it.
Makes sense.
Or even roadblock for it.
Wow. That's interesting. Something to know.
Or even Duke for it.
So I, for my first thing is always going to be the thing we did with the kids, which was we watched the original Gremlins for Christmas.
Ooh.
Which I think stood up to the test of time. I think it's still really fun to watch. And I was impressed that my youngest daughter did not run out of the room at any points, which is kind of her MO when things go badly. So I think that is, that is just more accolades for it. Yeah, it's a fun movie, and it's good to see something that isn't just overrun with CG anymore. I think it still really looks pretty good. Like, obviously, it's like 99%, looking back, it's a little meh.
Yeah, but practical effects, if I remember correctly.
It's really good.
It's wonderful. Oh, Matthew Dawson wants to know if Tony Soprano would do well on The Floor. I don't think he would.
I don't think he would.
I don't think he has a lot of generalized knowledge,
very
if
out
I
of
can be real with you.
think. Well, not The Floor is Lava, just The Floor.
In the last episode, he probably wound up on the floor.
Yes, 100%. I don't think he'd do well on Floor is Lava either, for the record.
Yeah.
He will get winded quickly. There we go. All right, William, what have you been watching or playing lately?
Well, I don't know if you guys are that big into anime, but I'm huge in anime. So I've been catching up on a lot of series because we got a ton of good isekai coming out next year. I just went back and rewatched all of Jujutsu Kaisen. I love that anime. Rewatched Solo Leveling and
I gotta watch
Jobless Reincarnation.
Okay, cool.
That's great. What did you say? Some new. What was the word you used?
Jujutsu Kaisen.
No, not Jujutsu Kaisen. There was a name. There's a lot of good coming out.
Isekai, yeah.
Isekai. Well, I couldn't remember what the word was 10 seconds later. What does that mean?
Isekai is when you get transported to a different world and assume a new role, basically.
So like the original Dungeons and Dragons show? would be
Well, yeah, it's a genre that is very, very big in
interesting.
anime.
Well, like Avatar. Yeah.
Not like Avatar.
Not
No.
like Avatar, the movies? No? Okay. It's
I'm still not
it's
really sure what that
nuanced.
means, but I am ready to move
All right.
forward. Look, I've been playing. I like retro games, and I've used this holiday season. I want to shout out my guy Benny T over at Sayword. He's been on the show before, and he sold me. Could have gifted it, but he sold it to me. No, I'm just messing with you, Benny. He's running a store. Of course, he sold it to me. I bought Parasite Eve for PlayStation 1, and I have been playing it. I'm a few hours deep. It's not a very long game. I'm probably about halfway done already. And it is wonderful. I meant to play this back in the day. Essentially, Parasite Eve is a survival horror game, like an old school Resident Evil game, but made from the people who make Final Fantasy. So it's like, what if we made a Final Fantasy like 7 version of a survival horror game that looks a lot like one of the old school Resident Evils or Silent Hills or whatever, but it plays a little bit like a Final Fantasy role-playing game. And I'll be honest, I'm loving it. I'm having a lot of fun. I'm sorry for all the animals that get horribly mutated and shot down by me in this game, but that's just what happens. They should have not horribly mutated and attacked me. But definitely worth your looks. Check it out. Go check out a video or something. Parasite Eve, fantastic retro game, and I thank Benny T for hooking me up. I've been looking for it for a while, and he's the one who had it.
Nice. Well, I think somebody needs to talk about this based on what this show is, but I just watched the last of the 3 new Stranger Things season 5 episodes. So I'm all caught up on that and waiting for New Year's for the very last release. Things have gone very off the rails. If you haven't seen it, it's so new. I don't want to do any spoilers.
No spoilers yet. I have not watched it.
I am willing to set up a secret channel on the Discord to talk about this. So I'll put a thing on, you'll go into the roles channel, select Stranger Things, and a new channel will pop up just for you. That will be spoilers abound. And we can talk about it there.
I love it.
All right.
Anything, William, are you caught up on Stranger Things?
I'm not. We're going to start watching the
nice.
Ones that just dropped yesterday.
It's
tonight.
a good time. Yeah.
Love that.
We actually got out and saw Zootopia 2.
I'm going to see that soon.
I was
Nice.
thrilled. I laughed out loud like 4 or 5 times. It was so good.
Right.
Yeah, the trailer for that looked really fun.
Yeah, I loved Zootopia. I thought it had a great message, and I've seen it like 10 times, and I was like,
Nice.
I'm afraid to go see this new one because it didn't look like it was going to hold that same level of quality, right? But I was so wrong. It was so
Cool.
good.
Good. I know my kids want to see that, so that's good to hear.
No, we'll be going out to the theaters, I think, this weekend or very soon after in order to see it before New Year's for sure. Because really, I want to see if that Avengers Doomsday trailer is going to be showing up in it. That's why I'm going.
Cool.
Which go find that. And this is the thing that made me really mad. Before I continue, is I heard there was an Avengers Doomsday trailer that got leaked online. Look, I work at the company that makes that stuff. Full disclosure, okay? Listen, it happens. I don't work on the movie, so don't even bother asking. I don't know. But somebody said, the trailer dropped online. It got leaked. I go, okay, let me go watch it. So I typed in Avengers Doomsday trailer. And what I got is this pile of trailers, all of whom were fake. Every single one of them was AI created garbage, with just dead-eyed people staring as the camera moved slightly backwards for 5 or 10 seconds. Who knows why? And it was trash. And we actually thought the first one was real. And then we watched the second one, and we got about 10, 15 seconds in. It's like, this is AI. Then we saw another one, and we saw like 7 more AIs listed. The actual one that got leaked didn't even show up. Now it's everywhere. The wonderful people over at Agbo have officially released the Steve Rogers trailer. You can rest assured that one is in fact real. When Dr. Doom says, "I hate you 3000," as Matthew Dawson says, you knew it was fake because we wouldn't do that.
Yeah, but when Steve Rogers has 3 arms, it's the wrong trailer.
Yeah, I want everyone who makes fake trailers and puts them on YouTube. Gosh. I want that to be a felony offense. I want you in a gulag. I want you working in Siberia in the salt mines. That's what I want. It really bothered me that not only do they exist, but they existed in such abundance, I couldn't find anything else. I really didn't like that a lot. This AI thing, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Okay, well, before you go off on AI, did you see that someone did a Vader thing with AI where they showed him like in his pod doing his thing with like shortly after the incident?
I have
That one
seen
was
that. Yes.
really
Oh,
good.
Yeah. Look, I mean, look, they used AI in Fortnite, didn't they, to like make Vader talk to you in like
Did they?
real
I didn't see
time?
that one.
I thought they did something like that. I could have the
huh.
specifics wrong, but they did something like that. And people were trying to get Vader to say some terrible things. Not great. And Matthew Dawson says AI should only be used for nerd
Wow.
debates. That's what I hear. That's what I hear,
right.
brother. You know,
That's right.
sometimes it's obvious. AI is always obvious when you see it or hear it. Really true. Usually, and somebody
pretty good.
used AI to improve the ending of the Amazing Spider-Man, where Gwen Stacy dies by having him save her instead. You're not improving anything. You're just making
Wow.
bad AI slop. Stop
Yeah.
it. Stop it.
I mean, that was
AI.
his Uncle Ben moment, right?
That was his Uncle Ben moment. Look, only one character's
Yeah.
not allowed to come back, and that's Uncle Ben. That's the rule. And you all know that's the unofficial rule for comic books. No character, every character can come back from the dead except Uncle Ben. That's the truth. All right,
That seems
let's see.
fine.
Oh, I got one more I want to talk about. One
I
more
do
round of
too.
this because I've been
Go
watching
ahead.
Christmas movies. Of course, I have. It's Christmas season, so I watched one of my favorites. Red One. Red One is a great Christmas
Nice.
movie. It's a
Yeah.
new classic, made by our fine folks over at is that a Netflix or an Amazon? I don't
It
remember.
is Netflix, I
It is
believe.
a Netflix. Okay. It's wonderful. Red One, Chris Evans, who I love, Captain America, The Rock, who I also love, Black Adam, as well as what Lucy Liu and a bunch of other Mark Evan Jackson, my one of my favorite people in the world. Mark Evan Jackson's like the dad at the first scene of that movie. Nick Kroll's in that movie. It's just a movie that's pure Christmas fun, knows exactly what kind of movie it's making, and does with immense skill. I am a big fan of Red One. This is not ironic. I really like this movie. We watch it every year now. It is part of the tradition. We also watched White Christmas. If you don't know, it's an old classic
Oh yeah.
with
Okay.
Bing Crosby and Danny Kaye, two of the greatest performers of all time. I am particular to Danny Kaye, the court
Right.
jester, also one of the greatest movies of all time as far as comedies go. A great musical about army folks and singing and doing shows, and it's a lot of fun. And I like it. And then finally, the holiday classic of holiday classics, of course, I'm talking about Fast and Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw, which I watch every single year during the holidays. I have not watched it yet this year. I'm just saying this because I'll need to. Hobbs and Shaw is one of the greatest movies ever made, and you should have seen it if you haven't seen it already. Even if you've never seen a Fast and Furious, it doesn't matter. This is an offshoot movie. It's a standalone plot. Idris Elba is like a bionic Superman guy. Jason Statham, The Rock. What else do I need to say? You should see it. I'm going to be watching it very soon, and you should too.
All right. All right. Well, my last one for this week is Pluribus, which comes to you from Vince Gilligan, the guy that did Breaking Bad, Better
Very
Call
good.
Saul. Have you guys been watching this?
It's on
it's
my
a
list
good
of
time.
next things to watch. I hear it's
Love
great.
it. Yeah, it's again, this is pretty recent, so I'm not going to give any kind of spoilers, but it's very much a dystopian, like apocalyptic event that happens, and you have this handful of survivors, and led by a Seahorn from Better Call Saul. She was Saul's, better half, if you will. And fun fact, there is, I think, a couple episodes where she ends up calling this phone number that they've designated just for her. And the voice on the other side, my wife was like, I know that voice. And like had to Google it, IMDb it, and it is Patrick Fabian, who is also in Better Call Saul as one of the
He's great.
partners. We know him sort of through his kids went to my wife's school. So she was like, he's one of the parents. It's a fun little tie-in. But yeah, it's such a good show. It is pretty slow. I mean, I think, anyone who's used to like Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, I think they get the pacing that he goes for. So it is kind of a slow burn.
Look,
It is.
if you're
It's
looking
a
for the
fun ride.
pacing of a
Yeah.
Lanky Box YouTube video, you're
Yeah.
not going to find it with
It's
a
no
Vince
TikTok.
Gilligan property, okay?
No.
It's understood walking in the door.
Yeah, he does what he does real well.
It's phenomenal. William, you got anything more for us?
Yeah, I don't just watch anime. I watch some of the really great classics I'm going back and watching Batman, Superman, Justice League Unlimited, and Young Justice. Like that
Very nice.
whole
Oh
series
wow, yeah.
is just perfection. If you haven't seen it, treat yourself. Start in that order. Go through the Batman, the early Batman stuff that came out. What was it, in the 90s?
So
Then
not the Adam West stuff.
no, that stuff's also pretty fun. But
It's pretty great.
Oh,
Warner
yeah.
Brothers does animated superheroes better than anybody.
Mm-hmm.
I'll stand up to anyone who wants to challenge that. Their movies are great. The Gods and Monsters movie was fantastic. You know, I just watched another one that was about the origin of Hal Jordan. Yeah, just there's so much great animation there. So, but if you're looking at multiple seasons of Batman, multiple seasons of Superman, 2 seasons of Justice League, 2 or 3 seasons of Unlimited Justice League, and then like I think they're up to like 4 or 5 seasons of Young Justice now, and it's all so good.
That's phenomenal. Let me piggyback on you
I
for
need
a
to check
second
that
because I forgot to even mention this. I went to North Carolina a few weeks
Oh,
ago,
yeah.
so I had to watch some movies on some flights. So I purchased and watched on my phone Batman Ninja, which is one of the most absurd movies I've ever seen in my entire life.
Okay.
Really, it's just insano. There's really nothing else to say about it. It's a movie made for crazy people. And then I also watched Deathstroke, Knights and Dragons, which was also very, very good. And I just wanted to shout out both of those since we're talking about DC animated.
Have you seen Superman versus the Elite?
I'm not familiar with that one. I'll
Oh
check
God,
that one
watch
out.
Superman versus the Elite. It's amazing.
Fair enough. Here's the deal. I will.
Yeah, I'll get in on that.
Love it. All right, so this is the point of the show where we would talk about what we're going to the next battle, but there is no next battle yet. We have not figured that out. We do not know who's coming on next. So here's the great opportunity. Sam's going to talk about it in a second. Sure. Make your 1-minute demo, video demo. Send it to us at whowouldwinmasters@gmail.com. We have we got through everybody but like one person in the hopper, so that person knows who they are because they know they sent us something, and it's not like the 10-year-old. Just for the record,
No,
we're working that out. You're very young. That's very hard for us to work out. We're still talking about it. I don't know yet, but it's the other
for
person.
another 8 years,
maybe for 8 years, and then something like
and then
that.
we're good. And everything's fine.
Yeah.
Worked itself out.
So that person will be getting a call to start out in Q1 of next year. Let me say that. So get yourself ready. You know who you are. But send it to us. whowouldwinmasters@gmail.com. We are about to have an empty hopper that wants people's submissions. So if you've been thinking about doing it, send it because we're basically empty to end the year and we want you in. So do send us that. whowouldwinmasters@gmail.com. Obviously the Patreon as well. We're doing a year in review episode. Go to the Patreon. Go to the Discord right off the Patreon. It's the front page of the Patreon when you join it, even as a free member. Join the Discord, get involved, comment, vote, and we're going to have some awards, some like celebration of the year that was, and a look forward to the year that will be. William, thank you so much for coming on the show today. Any last words for the people at home? Congratulations on your fan vote victory.
Thank you.
Yeah.
This is fun. I look forward to being invited back at some point in the new year.
See.
Definitely.
We'll see.
Yeah.
It's
a maybe. Solid maybe.
Other than that, I'm going to keep working on my game. I have a small company that I'm working with called Proof of Play. We're making a product called Ship a Story Go. It is a mobile game, very much like Capybara Go. If you've played that game, so it's an auto RPG, a very very simple gameplay. And we should be releasing that in Q1 of next year. So it's eating up a lot of time, but it's a really fun product.
What's the name of the game again?
Sheba Story Go.
Sheba Story Go. I just, people always do that. Well, they'll say the name off the top and then talk for like 10 minutes about the product and then never say the product name again. You got to say it at the end every time. This is just Podcaster 101. Not to shame you. You wouldn't have known that, but I'm just trying to help.
Yeah, and honestly, it's not available in the U.S. yet. We're just in test territories, like the Philippines. I think we just opened in Spain as our most our newest territory.
So use Aura to VPN yourself to the Philippines to get this game right now here.
Or just when it launches in the US.
Wait. I mean,
drop a link in the Discord.
But just remember, you could use Aura. I'm not trying to say they're a sponsor of the show, but you could consider it.
Hopefully by the time I'm on again, I will be able to say, go get it.
Nice. Yeah.
That's it.
Awesome.
That's it.
Awesome.
All right. Sorry, Sam Proof. Go ahead and take us away. I
No, of
appreciate it.
course. No, I just wanted to say also, yeah, we do already have a few threads open for next week's episode that ask you who your favorite guests were, your top 5 episodes. If you have thoughts on similar things, head over to the general tab there, start a new thread with your question, pose that to the rest of the community, and yeah, we'll talk about it on the next episode. I feel like we should have asked if anyone got anything interesting for the holidays, but we're already wrapping up. I don't know. Does anyone anything super interesting, like a one item you want to put out there? No? All right.
We're old
Nothing.
men, Sam.
Everyone
we
got
don't
socks.
get exciting
God
gifts.
Damn it.
We buy ourselves the exciting things the 11 and a half months that aren't the 2 weeks around Christmas.
My wife got me a pocket watch that holds a full set of metal
All right.
D&D dice.
All right. Well, that's pretty great.
That's pretty good. Yeah. That's pretty good. I got a
That's
die
pretty good.
cutter, so which, if we want to start our own line of stickers, we'll talk.
I got
Anyway.
a Duke Cannon bar of soap that's a lump
right.
of coal,
Yeah. Nice.
but it smells great.
I gave my wife the X-Men Mansion Lego set.
Okay, that's pretty awesome.
That's pretty good. That kind of
She already has the Daily Planet.
I'm a
She
little
already has the
jealous.
Sanctorum. She has the
Nice.
Helicarrier.
Oh my God.
She's a big Lego maniac.
Matthew Dawson in chat says he got this old G.I. Joe ship, probably just going to trash it. And I'm so enraged right now, we need to end the show.
Well, thanks for listening. Join us for next week, not battle episode. And yeah, if you have more things to say about this episode or this battle from this episode, head over to our Patreon and our Discord. So patreon.com/whowouldwinmasters. You can find the Discord link there. And if you think you've got what it takes to be a part of Who Would Win Masters, record a 1-minute video demo of yourself, send it to whowouldwinmasters@gmail.com, and maybe we'll see you in the Challenger's chair in 2026. For Who Would Win Masters, this is Sam Proof. Stay strong.